whatever you want to do. I'll follow the lead, Tom.
I think I got signed up. Maybe.
Oh, shit. Oh, be careful. Oh, that's kind of low.
Yeah, I wanted it up.
There you go.
Don't sit on the ground.
Yeah, just see the top of your head sliding around.
Yeah, I did.
It was working because we had it working just a couple minutes ago.
We don't need it,
Yes, he does need it, that's why it's on.
but it wasn't doing anything.
He hasn't set up, Austin is, when we get to that, the second agenda item, he will be going through everything.
I just need to log on to my PC.
So that's the reason why we had everything set up.
I just usually try to leave it locked in, so it gets all cranky.
Yeah, because we had it all up and running.
Yeah, yesterday going to work it was like 55 degrees, 52 degrees, and then today it was like 68. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be hot.
In the morning, yeah.
Yeah, like 5:30.
That's hot.
Is that people on it? Oh, no.
Yesterday was cooler, though it felt.
Looked like
compared to
people from
today,
here.
it's
Oh, no.
90s.
Just cheap.
I've been
Yeah,
staying,
yesterday morning was 55 when I walked to work. It was
I've been staying inside and watching Little League Baseball,
I wish I could.
and it is fun. Different states are playing against each
Utah's
other.
making something right now. They're making a run at some stuff, aren't they?
What?
Utah?
Oh, I was watching Connecticut. Favorite time of the year watching them games. Boy, they play like adults. Man,
Yeah,
They're
they're
good.
serious.
they are good.
That's right after I finished with the donuts.
I know.
Did you say donuts?
Then they said something about, just about like this gentleman that got up and talked about the Little
We're
League,
live.
about how important it is to a community if they can get a team of a higher caliber to win some of these tournaments so that we can bring these tournaments to our town. Because they bring their mamas and daddies and they stay in the motels and they spend money.
It's very
Why
important.
Rawlins? You know.
Very important. The baseball's been dying in our community for several years.
I coached Little League, Sam Earl and Greg and all of them. I coached them baseball.
All right, it's 6 o'clock, so
Okay.
let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, moving on to roll call, Lynn?
Okay, Mayor Terry Wyckoff. Vice Mayor Jacqueline Wells.
Here.
Councilmember Aaron Durst. Councilmember Darrell Gardner.
Here.
Councilmember Dabari Martinez.
Here.
Councilmember Linda Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Chris Weisenberg.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, moving down to the approval of the agenda. Councilwoman Smith?
I move to approve the agenda of August 10th, 2022 for a special city council meeting.
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? When you're ready, Lynn, please open online voting.
Online voting is open.
Yay.
Yay.
Online voting has closed. The motion passes with 5 yeas.
Moving down to new business. Rescinding the resolution 7A 2022. Councilmember Martinez?
I make a motion to rescind the resolution 7A 2022 approved at the City Council special meeting on July the 26th, 2022, authorizing submission of an American Rescue Plan Act 2022-2023 grant for the City of Rawlins Water Service Delivery System.
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded. Discussion?
You had a question?
Yeah, before this is rescinded and everything, do we need a public hearing on the new resolution by some chance? Because I don't
No.
want to.
Resolutions don't require public hearings.
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure because we've had them in the past, and I don't want to get rid of something that.
It's not required.
Okay.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right, when you're ready, please open online voting.
Online voting is open.
Yay.
Yay.
Online voting has closed. The motion passes with 5 yeas.
All right, moving down to the next item on our agenda, item B, the resolution authorizing submission of an American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA 2022-2023 water grant request. Councilwoman Smith?
I move to approve resolution and certification for staff to apply for ARPA 2022-23 American Rescue Plan Act water project funding through the State Land and Investment Board in the amount of $7,446,000, and a city matching fund of $639,000 will be coming from Choke Cherry Impact Assistance General Fund, and $675,000 from the Wyoming State Land Investment Board, SLIB, Mineral Royalties Grant, MRI, that the City of Rawlins has been awarded.
I'll second that.
The motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Lots, but
Councilmember Martinez?
Trying to think what I was going to ask. Oh, I guess the only concern I had was the matching portion of it. Is it changed at all? Is it higher, lower?
Yeah, the actual match has increased from what it was the first time. So when we were reviewing the grant application to go to the state, what we learned in there was some language in there, okay, that said that the 15% match needs to be upon the project total. And what we calculated the 15% match on was the amount of the grant that we were asking for. So the the amount of the grant is what we actually calculated the 15% match on.
Okay.
But within the grant application, it says that the 15% match has to be upon the project total, not upon the amount of the grant. And so when we went through and identified the project total, it came out to about 8.2 million instead of the 7.4. And so we had to recalculate the 15% match based upon the 8.2, which is the project total, versus the total of the grant that we had assumed that that's what we were matching was the grant funds.
Okay. What
So-
does that come out to money-wise?
Want me to present?
What's that?
Would you like me to present?
Yeah, I'll let Austin.
Okay.
He's the one that worked through the contract amount. He can explain that and
Okay.
the match, so.
Good. Yeah. Would you like me to have a seat, sir?
Yep.
of this.
See what he says. I can't tell
So if I may explain, I'd like to discuss quickly the
the resolution.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. This document is also on Board Docs. It is, if you guys would like to look at it on Board Docs, it's the same one.
Okay.
Thank you.
It
Oh, it's
upload
8.7.
everything.
So originally in our discussions with the SLIB board staff, they had told us in a public meeting and privately in an email where we have written record that they said it was 15% over the grant money available to us. And we sat together as a staff and looked at this and said it was very unusual, but we had decided to move forward with the grant application process on the basis of what we were told. And then I was going through the grant application a couple days ago with Andrea, and I went and I looked at the more minute details of the grant application. Buried inside, it says all grant awards shall be contingent upon a match of funds in a ratio of no more than 85 cents of grant funds to no less than 15 cents from matching funds provided by the project sponsor. And the person who had given us this direction via email no longer works for the state, so far as I know. So there's been a change of staff and some serious miscommunication there. And our previous issues with SLIB and prior applications that had failed, it was as a result also of working with this particular individual. So that has resolved itself. However, we want to pick up and make things right. So I'd like to quickly walk you through, very quickly, this was our application, numbers that I used in a spreadsheet here, which shows what we believed to be the potential available funds of $7.5 million. That is what we were told, that there may be up to 7.5 available. And then so we looked at our engineer's estimates and we got as close to that number on phasing and came up with phases 2 and 3 as being a priority. And that actually came within a very close number. So if you took the 15% on top of the available funds, the total grant amount request would be $7.45 million. And then the city match was the 1.117. That was what was passed as a resolution that has now been rescinded. Thank you. And moving forward then on to today's application, where it's been updated, it is where we have an updated engineer's estimate now, because since we had to make the change to the resolution, I talked to the engineers who produced this and I said, now's a good chance if you want to provide some updated numbers. And they looked at inflation and they looked at some different things and we were able to update the estimates. Very close, same phasing, same scope of work, just slightly different. And we kept it within the $7.5 million potential and also our match, so we did not exceed our match amount. And so it'd be 15% of the total project cost as our match, instead of 15% over what's available. So just in that, does anybody have any questions on the calculations for what was used in the resolution?
Mm-mm.
But that isn't gonna create a problem with what we have, is that correct? To come up with that match?
This is still within the remaining balance. I believe that is in the general fund.
Yeah.
That's choke cherry.
Because I just don't want to have to come back and you say, well, we made a mistake, we don't have quite enough to put in the match.
Yes, so when you take the $1.252292 million,
Okay,
when you take that and you subtract out the total encumbrance for the pre-treatment plant, there's a remainder of the $717,292.
okay,
And when you look at the amount of grant match, we'll have a remainder of $78,292 for remaining in the city's coffers.
okay. Okay, I just want, I don't know, I'm just making sure that we don't have to come back again and say, oh, we goofed.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, because it doesn't look good.
Right.
Okay, and I appreciate the work you're doing.
Absolutely.
Any other questions?
So, I just want to know why, obviously, why the different funds. I mean, the first one is was there not enough in Choke Cherry to cover it all with everything else going out? Because originally it was a full amount of, 1.1 going out of Choke Cherry alone.
Yeah, no, there is sufficient funds in Choke Cherry to cover the full match. But where we can use the grant to match, what that would essentially do is free up the rest of that that's in Choke Cherry so that it doesn't have to go towards this project. We could use those additional appropriated funds for the pretreatment if we needed to, or somewhere else. And so by using the grant as the match, that just frees up Choke Cherry funds. But there is sufficient funds within the budget to cover the match through the Choke Cherry funds if you so desire.
Okay. No, I just want to, I mean, I'm okay with using the SLIB funds there. At first I was like, you're going to match a grant with a grant, but I did make a phone call to a fellow councilwoman here, and she said, no, it's okay. So that cleared up my ease there. But and this will actually give us more cushion in, you know, the impact assistance with stuff going on too. But I do want to know for sure that, make sure we haven't already allocated the SLIB grant funds out. I thought we just said something about water project or something, I couldn't remember, but I want to make sure it wasn't allocated out to a specific project before.
And you bring up an excellent point. And so when you look at the grant application for SLIB MRG, we included blow-off valve replacement and relocation, as well as cathodic protection, which falls within scope 3 for phase 3 of this same application here. So it actually goes towards the same exact project.
Okay, because it was allocated to something already then, and it just goes to that. Okay,
Yeah,
that makes
and
sense.
And
I
so
just
what
want to make
did
sure.
is you can see where I subtracted out from the engineer's estimate for phase 3. Sunrise Engineering estimate included that cathodic protection and some of those blow-off valve replacements and relocations. And so we're able to subtract out that 675 against the total need.
Councilwoman Smith?
Yes, since he referenced the phone call, I wanted to explain to everybody what I said. ARPA funds are federal, SLIB money is state, and Choke Cherry is industrial siting money, which is state. So that's why they would be able to use them as matches.
I appreciate that.
Any other questions? All right, Lynn, when you're ready, please open online voting.
Online voting is open.
Yay.
Yay.
Sorry. Come on.
Online voting has closed. The motion passes with 5 yeas.
All right, with no further business to come before the council, I adjourn this meeting at 6:15 p.m.
All right.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
for coming in for a special meeting, I really appreciate it.
I'm sorry?
Thank you all for coming in for a special meeting, I really appreciate your
No
time.
problem.
Thank you for your patience on this matter.
Your next meeting is the 5th, is the 18th, next Tuesday, and there will be a work session starting at 6 o'clock.
18th or the 16th?
16th, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because the 18th is Thursday.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So it will be, yes, and it will be at 6 o'clock. We do have a work session that, sorry.